is never too late for God to turn your story around. It is not too late to accomplish the goals that you had written down at the beginning of this year. If you start now, you and your life could look completely unrecognizable by the end of 2025. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to partner with God to make it happen. I don't know about you, but I serve a God who redeems time. So it doesn't matter what opportunities you may have missed. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're behind, the mistakes you made this year, how you got off track, out of alignment, none of that matters. Because the second that you make a decision that you are ready to get it together and you're going to partner with God to make it happen, oh, you better be ready for everything to start falling into alignment. All you have to do is make a decision. Decide that, you know what, I am not going to keep living the way I've been living this year. And with the last 4 months left of 2025, I'm going to choose to go a different route. If you're new here, my name is Amber. I'm a lifestyle creator and a strategist. If you love all things mindset, self-improvement, and faith, then this is the channel that you want to be on. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 steps that you can start taking today to ensure that you are going to look unrecognizable by the end of this year. But in order to really make that happen, you are going to have to give God the rest of your 2025. This video and concept came about because I was doing my end of year check-in and realized I had some goals written down that I did not accomplish due to life circumstances, getting distracted. I was like, I really want at least 3 things on my list to happen before this year's over. So I have to give God the rest of this year. Now, although I am proud of the progress that I have made this year, far as growing my business, landing dream clients, growing as a creator. However, I owe it to myself to accomplish those 3 things that I have on my list. So if you feel the same way, if you feel like, yeah, you did pretty good this year, but you know you could have done better, then I have some good news. We have 4 months left in this year when I am releasing this video. That means it is not too late to not only accomplish those goals, but turn your story completely around. If you are in a season right now where you are not happy with the way your life is looking, it does not have to stay that way. You do not have to go into the new year the exact same person you are today. Now I want you to go grab a piece of paper so you can start taking some notes because we're about to get into today's video. So coming in at number 1 on how to give God the rest of your year so you can become unrecognizable is write it down. Write down what you want Him to do in your life. Keep in mind that your list doesn't have to be long, okay? But think about at least 2 to 3 things. It can be one major thing. What is something that you really wanted to happen this year, but due to life circumstances or distractions, maybe lack of belief, whatever it may have been? Think about what you really wanted to happen for you this year, but it didn't, and write it down. For example, at the beginning of this year, I wanted to move to my dream city. I made up my mind that it was going to happen. I started working towards it and saving. But due to life circumstances, that did not happen. So guess what? I am believing God to make it happen. If not by the end of this year, we're going to make it happen going into next year. And I have 2 more other things on my list that I want God to do. So whatever yours may be, write it down. And I don't want to hear, oh, I don't have the finances, oh, my current circumstances, blah, 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 blah. It may be too big for you, but it's never too big for God. I feel like as believers, we're always putting limits on God. We feel like if we can't do it in our own strength, then it's impossible. Not realizing that we serve a God of the impossible, a supernatural God. So of course, you probably can't make that move on your own. Of course, it may look like it's too late for you to receive that opportunity or connect with this person or do whatever. But if you write it down and submit it to the Lord, you will be surprised at how things start to fall in place. You'll be surprised at how God will put you in the right place at the right time to make whatever you wrote down happen. So write the vision and make it plain. What is it that you want God to do before this year is over or going into the next year, okay? What I personally did, I can show you my notebook. This right here is my journal. I write down all my thoughts. I do my Bible studies in this journal. So what I did was I wrote a little letter to God. I talked about how I was feeling in this current moment, how I felt about this year. I expressed gratitude for the things that He made happen this year. I also expressed gratitude for how I know He's about to show up and show out in my life. And I also made it very clear, God, I'm not done yet. You're not done yet. Here are 3 things that I am believing you for by the end of this year. So I wrote down my letter, and then under the letter, I did my 3 bullet points, and I wrote down, I am believing God for 1, 2, 3. And after you write down your list, at the bottom of it, you can write either a prayer, a declaration, or another little note to God to just seal it all together, right? So for example, I wrote down, that's it, that's all. Now God, I ask for wisdom and guidance towards making this all happen. How can I serve others at a high level? Show me the way. And the reason why I wrote that down is because part of what I want God to do before this year is over has to do with my business, my brand. So I'm seeking wisdom and guidance. Now let's get into number 2 on how you are going to become unrecognizable by submitting the rest of your year to the Lord. What I want you to do is take that list that you just wrote down, or whenever you decide to write it down, it needs to be this week. Get it done today if possible, but procrastination will keep you stuck and stagnant, okay? So I highly recommend after this video, you spend some time with God and get it done. But I want you to take that list that you wrote down, and now your job is just to submit it to Him. Now, when I say submit it to the Lord, I'm not talking about, okay, God, here you go, and then just start sitting back expecting a miracle to just fall out the sky. When you submit your plans, your works to the Lord, it's more so of a heart posture. It's a mindset thing. It's all about saying, okay, God, here's the plans that I wrote down, but I am at peace with the fact that your ways are better. So if I don't get exactly this, I'm going to get something better. Submitting it to the Lord is letting go of control, saying, God, I don't know how this is going to happen or when it's going to happen, but I'm believing it will. Submitting your plans to the Lord is seeking wisdom and guidance like I did. So simply saying, okay, God, here's my list. I pray you make this thing happen, but can you give me the wisdom, the knowledge, the guidance on how to partner with you to bring this forth? Who do I need to reach out to? What do I need to build? What do I need to be focusing on in this season? God, give me the wisdom. Wisdom is the best thing that you can ask for in this life. Don't ask for the money. Seek wisdom on how to get yourself in alignment with it. So after you wrote down your list, you are going to submit it all to the Lord. Like I said, release control over the how or the when. Get in a posture of expectancy. Get in a posture of believing. Practice the art of detachment. See, a lot of people mess up in life because they write down what they want and then they want it to happen how they want it to happen. And that's putting limits on God. You have to take the limits off. Because like I just mentioned, His ways are better. For example, I've always had an idea that I was going to be successful, make a lot of money, live my dream life, etc. And I'm talking in my early 20s, my teenage years, I had an idea, a vision for my life on how I was going to be successful. And for the longest, I had control over my plans, my life. It was my way or no way. And as life began to happen, but not only that, as I became closer with the Lord, I realized, oh, I'm not going to become successful that way. God want me doing this. God want me to create content. God want me to teach people. That was never in my plans in my early 20s. But I had to be obedient and post the content. I had to be obedient and launch the brand, launch the business. If I never had let go of my own plans and how I wanted to do things, I would not be where I am today. I want you to remain open to the infinite possibilities of how God can make the thing that you are praying for happen. Take the limits off of Him, submit it all to Him. Like I mentioned, ask for wisdom, guidance, knowledge, and stewardship, how to steward the very thing you're asking for, and let God do what He do best, okay? Let God cook. Now let's get into number 3. You wrote down a list, you submitted it to God, and now it's time to look at yourself in the mirror. It is time to be real with yourself. Who are you currently right now? And do it align with the very thing that you are asking for? I want you to take a look at yourself, your daily habits, your daily actions, your mindset, your beliefs. Do all of that align with the very thing that you've been praying for and asking God to do? Are you a lazy person? Are you a procrastinator? Are you someone who always think the worst instead of being optimistic? Because if so, you need to make some changes. You have to get real with yourself about who you are and who you have been leading up to this point. Because I'm a strong believer that the reason why you do not have a certain thing is because you have not done the things or became the person who can receive it, right? Maybe you just wasn't focused on it. Maybe you just wasn't taking action towards it. Maybe you didn't even believe that someone like you can receive X, Y, and Z. So therefore you just brushed it under the rug. So get real with yourself. What changes need to be made in order to hit that income goal? What changes need to be made in order to meet your dream partner? What changes need to be made to grow in your business, your career, to land that dream job, to get your dream body? What are you believing the Lord for, and what changes need to be made right now in order to get yourself in alignment? See, this is not trying to control the situation, and this is you doing your part, which is going to bring us to number 4. Our last step is aligning your action with your faith. Being real with yourself and aligning your actions with your faith, it's all one. It's literally the foundation, okay? Yes, faith is the foundation, but like right above that, it's actually aligning your action with your faith. Because what? Faith without works is dead. So you're telling God that you want your dream career, you want to grow your business, X, Y, Z, yet you keep sleeping in. How are you going to run a successful business sleeping till noon? Absolutely not. Align your action with your faith. If you believe in God for an increase in that area, you need to wake up so you can start responding to more emails, reaching out to more people, brainstorming ideas for your business. You say you want your dream body by the end of this year, but you keep eating fast food. You keep drinking soda, eating sweets. You haven't took the time out to make a meal plan. You're not going to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week. You have to align your faith with your actions. You say you want this thing, but your actions say another. Be real with yourself. And I'll give you another example. Let's say you want to be a successful creator. You want to grow your platform, land brand deals, start making money from your content, but you're only posting once a week. Maybe you post twice a week. That's not enough. If you are not taking the time out to develop your skills as a creator, your editing, your storytelling, your hooks, the quality of your content, then how are you expecting to actually grow and land these deals? Once again, you have to align your action with your faith. So just to jump back to number 3 with getting real with yourself, something I had to do was get a piece of paper. One thing you're going to learn about me, I write down everything. I love to journal. As you can see, I have many journals. But I got a piece of paper out and I started to write down who I want to be, the ideal version of myself, where she lives, what she do for a living, how much money she make. I wrote all that down. Her daily habits, her thought process, how she shows up online, how she shows up in person, dream body, etc. I wrote it all down. Then I wrote down, who am I currently today? What time do I wake up? What are my eating habits? What is my mindset towards certain things? What are the actions that I've been taking on a day-to-day basis? Do it even align with this version of myself I say I want to be? Okay, if not, it's time to make some changes, because nothing changes if nothing changes. So you have to be real with yourself. Awareness is the key in all of this, okay? You have to be aware of where you currently are. The reason why you're probably not exactly where you want to be right now isn't because of the enemy, it's because of the inner me. The person who you are on the inside, your negative thoughts and beliefs, your lack of action, laziness, and procrastination. Yes, life happens. Things out of our control happens all the time. But that stuff isn't bigger than you, and it isn't bigger than God. So I don't care what has happened throughout this year. Do not let it stop you from reaching those goals. Do not let it stop you from becoming unrecognizable. Make peace with your past. Make peace with who you was leading up to this point, and choose to make a change. You do not have to go into the new year the same person that you are right now. So change your habits, change your beliefs, change how you view yourself. Ask God to start showing you how He sees you. That has been my prayer lately, and let me tell you, God has been showing me who I am, and I was like, okay, God, I got to show up. So like I said, be real with yourself, and now align your action with your faith. If you are believing God to do this thing, do your part and just show up. This current season is all about obedience. It's all about alignment. It's not about sitting back and expecting a miracle. It's not about sitting back and saying, well, if it's God's will, it's gonna happen. I'ma just, blah, blah, blah. No, you need to get up and start moving. Stop downplaying the very thing you want to do with if it's God's will. Yes, you should always say, Lord, if it's in your will, then may this thing be done. But you don't just sit back and then wait to see if it's his will. You take action, and that's when it will be revealed to you if it's his will or not, because God will redirect you. But sitting back and doing nothing and taking no action is not going to give you the clarity and the revelation that you are seeking surrounding your plans and your goals. Before I got started in the field and the industry that I am in, I tried many different things. I knew I wanted to be successful, and I had all these ideas. It wasn't until I actually pursued those ideas and then failed multiple times that I landed where I am today. Looking back, it wasn't God's will for me to do those things. But if I did not start somewhere and just tested the waters, at least tried, I would not have landed here. Every step unlocks a door to your next, okay? So you gotta start somewhere. Start with what you know, start with what you have, and more will be revealed to you along the way. But this is not the season just to sit back and keep waiting for signs and keep waiting for confirmation. If it's on your heart to do it, then just start, go towards it, and let God correct you along the way. After you watch this video, I want you to start moving with expectancy. I want you to have the heart posture of expectancy. As I mentioned earlier, when you submit your plans to the Lord, you don't know how it's going to happen or when, but you have to be in a position, a posture of expecting that something great is going to happen. This season is all about obedience. So I want you to make sure that you are every single day seeking wisdom. Lord, what do you want me to focus on today? Lord, who you want me to reach out to today? God, what is my main focus for this week? What is my main focus for this month? How can we not only get in alignment with what I have written down, but if this is not exactly what you want for me, how can I get in alignment with your plan? And do whatever the Lord places on your heart. No procrastinating, no being lazy. We don't have time to doubt ourselves. But if I'm being real, the doubt will be there. The fear will be there. Our brains are designed to keep us safe. So sometimes it's not even the fact that you are lazy or that you're incapable of accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish. It's just your brain is trying to keep you safe. And that's why the doubt comes up. That's why out of nowhere you feel stuck when it's time for you to take action. That's why your mind is coming up with every reason on why this thing can happen instead of focusing on why it actually can happen and be successful, why you actually can succeed at this thing. All right, guys, we are approaching the end of our video. If you found this helpful, right now, I want you to just leave a like or go down below and leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. What stood out to you the most in this video? What resonated with you the most in this video? Let me know. Let's connect. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you happen to be feeling a little bold, then go ahead and share with us. What is one thing that you're believing the Lord for? Okay, what is one thing that you want the Lord to do before the end of this year? You don't have to share your whole list with us, but one thing. Like I mentioned earlier, I want God to move me to my dream city. I know he's going to do it. Okay, it's coming. So before we end today's video, I am going to put our steps right here on the screen for you to write down or screenshot. But as I mentioned earlier, it is not too late for God to change your story around. If you start right now, I promise you, by the end of this year, you are going to look up and be like, what? You are going to look unrecognizable. Your life is going to look unrecognizable because so much can change with true discipline, consistency, intention, faith. And one thing I would love for you guys to do is check back in with me towards the end of this year. I want to hear your testimonies. What did God do in your life the moment that you submitted your plans to him? What did God do when you decided to give him the rest of your year? Let me know. Come back, check in with me. You can either send me a DM on Instagram, TikTok, you can send me an email, but check back in with your girl. I want to hear the good news. And if you aren't already, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We share a lot of lifestyle content over there, and you can find a lot of short form content of me dropping gems just like this over on those platforms. All right, I'm about to get out of here and let you guys go. Thank you again for watching today's video, and make sure you subscribe so you won't miss any more content because your girl is officially back on YouTube. Y'all know me and my inconsistency with YouTube is insane, but one of my goals was to grow this platform. So with 4 months left in this year, we're getting back on it. So expect to see a lot more of this face. All right, I love you guys, and I wish y'all so much success, and I'll see y'all in the next video.